Just Cause 2 is a 2010 action-adventure game developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Square Enix's European subsidiary. The sequel to 2006's Just Cause. It was powered by Avalanche Studios' Avalanche 2.0 engine. It features Rico Rodriguez, a major operative of the fictional agency who arrives at Panau, a fictional island nation in maritime Southeast Asia, to overthrow dictator Pandak, Baby, Panay and confront former mentor Tom Sheldon. The game was released in March 2010 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Just Cause 2 received generally positive reviews from critics, who praised its gameplay, open-ended nature, stunts, world design, and graphics while criticizing its story, gunplay, and mission design. Sales of 6 million copies worldwide exceeded original projections. The game was supported with downloadable content at release, and a multiplayer fan project was eventually approved as an add-on. The game's open world is free for players to explore when they are not on missions. Panau is described as an area of about 1,000 square kilometers, 390 square miles. There are a variety of landscapes, including deserts, mountains and jungles, and over 300 settlements. The settlements contain government properties, which can be destroyed, and unlockables such as cash stashes and weapon, vehicle and armor parts. Finding all the collectibles and destroying all the government properties will help players liberate a settlement and receive chaos points. When players create chaos or enter restricted areas, they generate heat noticed by hostile government militants. The heat decreases when the player evades them. The map is Rico's PDA, with points of interest including mission locations, settlements, military outposts, race challenges and the player's progress. Waypoints may be set on the PDA. There's more to traveling around this gargantuan isle than just parachutes and rickshaws, however. There are more than 100 different vehicles to drive and pilot, from sedans and double-decker buses to commuter aircraft and speedboats. The physics are loose and wild, which lets you pull off some crazy stunt jumps off of ramps and cliffs. It's always fun, too, to get some good speed in a motorcycle and parachute away and then watch the bike zoom off without a driver. Panau is an impressive place to explore. Tall snow-covered mountains cradle ski resorts and military based between them. Beachside shacks dot the ocean shores. The capital city shows off a beautiful nighttime skyline. Should you plummet below the ocean waves, you'll admire the striking underwater views, which feature tropical fish and colorful coral reefs. Just Cause 2 is an attractive game and provides an excellent variety of vistas to marvel at, and the draw distance lets you take in a lot at once. If you look more closely, you'll notice seams between texture maps, and the lack of lip movement when characters talk outside of the pixelated cutscenes, but it still makes a good visual impression. Wheelman is an action-adventure video game developed by Tigan Studios and Midway Studios, Newcastle and published by Ubisoft in conjunction with Midway Games for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and Microsoft Windows. The game was released in March 2009 and stars Vin Diesel. The game is set in an open-world environment modeled after Barcelona, full of destructible objects, alleyways, shortcuts through office blocks and a total of 31 story missions and 105 side missions. While most missions are driving-oriented, there are also foot missions which are played from a third-person perspective. A wide variety of weapons are available to the player, such as pistols, assault rifles and RPGs. The game features a unique element called airjack, where players are able to hijack an enemy or civilian vehicle by locking on and jumping in from the one they are driving. Fuel is an open-world racing video game developed by Asobo Studio and published by Codemasters. The game was released in 2009 in North America on June 2 and Europe on June 5 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and July 5 for Microsoft Windows. It is set in a post-apocalyptic United States after the sun scorched the earth, with a completely free-to-roam open world approximately 5,560 square miles 14,400 square kilometers in size, which is roughly the size of the U.S. state of Connecticut. In the free roaming mode, the game features the ability to drive anywhere in the game world without incurring loading times, however, crashing a vehicle, or invoking the reset function to return to the road, does invoke a loading screen. Gameplay: Fuel is an open-world racing game set in a Mad Max-like post-apocalyptic world ravaged by extreme weather fueled by global warming, with players experiencing varying weather effects such as occasional tornadoes and sandstorms, as well as an accelerated day-night cycle. The map in which the game takes place is over 14,400 square kilometers large. Fuel contains several thousand square miles of terrain. The open-world setting of Fuel allows players to seamlessly drive all the way towards and up into the snowy regions of those hazy mountains. The game features a dynamic lighting and weather system. The award for largest playable area in a console game was awarded to Fuel developer Asobo Studios. Guinness World Records presented the developer with a certificate to commemorate the achievement. Fuel has been met with mixed reviews, praising the graphics and the world design. Many of the rewards available to be unlocked were seen as not worth the effort, and the racing mechanics have been noted as sloppy. Driver: San Francisco is an action-adventure racing video game and the fifth installment in the Driver series. Developed by Ubisoft Reflections and published by Ubisoft, it was released in September 2011 for the PlayStation 3, Wii, Xbox 360 and Microsoft Windows, with an addition for Mac OS X in March 2012. The game will have players traverse a fictional representation of San Francisco and the Bay Area, conducting missions through the use of licensed real-world cars, with the ability to shift into any car in the game's setting in most platform editions. The game's main story sees players controlling John Tanner, a police detective, who falls into a coma pursuing his nemesis Charles Jericho following a prison breakout after the events of Driver 3, Driv 3R, and finds himself piecing together his plan in a dream world while it is happening in real life. A new feature is Shift, which allows Tanner to teleport from one car to another without discontinuing the mission. One of the inspirations for Shift comes from Google Earth. The game was also described as a return to the roots of the series, as the ability to get out of the car, which was introduced in Driver 2, was removed and replaced with the ability to shift teleport into other cars, as the developers felt that too many games had this kind of feature already and it wasn't desirable for us to just copy that exact mechanic. With Shift, the player can also start or continue missions. As well as the ability to use Shift, all cars are equipped with a boost feature, requiring the player to push up on the left thumbstick to use it. Players can also push L1 on the PlayStation 3 or the left shoulder button on the Xbox 360 version of the game to perform a special ram attack on cars. The Film Director mode, which was absent from Parallel Lines, also returns, and players can share their videos on the Driver Club website. The game runs at 60 frames per second. San Francisco is unique from other games in the series in that the game features licensed real-life cars. There are a total 140 fully damageable vehicles based on real-life models, ranging from buggies and compact cars to muscle cars and sport cars. The automobile marques featured in the game include Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Audi, Bentley, Cadillac, Chevrolet, DeLorean, Dodge, Ford, GMC, Hummer, Lamborghini, Lincoln, McLaren, Pagani, RAF, Shelby, and Volkswagen. Test Drive Unlimited 2 is a 2011 open-world racing video game developed by Eden Games and published by Atari for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It is the sequel to the 2006 game Test Drive Unlimited and the 19th entry in the Test Drive video game series, and was released on the 8th of February 2011. Test Drive Unlimited 2 includes a variety of roads on the island of Oahu, which returns from the first game, and the island of Ibiza. The game features 3 main vehicle categories, with each vehicle also belonging to a subcategory depending on quality: A for asphalt cars, A7 to A1, B for off-road vehicles, B4 to B2, which is a new feature in TDU2, and C for classic cars, C4 to C1, with an additional M category for motorcycles included in DLC. The vehicle subcategory is noted in the form of a number. The lower the number, the higher the quality. The plot revolves around the player's customizable avatar, who is offered the chance to enter a series of tournaments and progresses through the game in order to eventually become the winner of the Solar Crown by defeating a number of NPCs, non-player characters, in various races. Oahu, Hawaii above and Ibiza, Spain below are the two locations featured in the video game. The game is set upon two islands, Ibiza, an island in the Balearic Islands, a Spanish territory, and Oahu, one of the Hawaiian Islands, returning from TDU. Both islands have been modeled mostly accurately by using satellite data. Each island has both asphalt roads and off-road routes, translated to roughly 2/3 of all roads being asphalt roads, and the total length of road exceeds 3,000 kilometers, 1,864 miles. The racing of the game is similar with the previous game, and there are 3 championship cups, for each vehicle class, to win in the game, 1 in Ibiza and 2 on Oahu. The islands have new challenges and races citation needed to earn extra cash, and the roads on Oahu have been modified to give the location a fresh look, especially for those who played the previous game. Oahu has also been renewed graphically to stay up to date for the new game, and each island features a 24-hour cycle and dynamic weather. The player can travel between the 2 islands by driving to the airport on one island, where a cutscene shows the character taking off as a passenger on a plane, and then flying to the next location on the other island. This air commuting ability needs to be unlocked by reaching level 10 in the game. The airports have modeled interiors which, like car dealerships and other locations, allows online players to interact with other online players in the same location. With the release of the second DLC, the player also has the option to instantly change islands instead of entering the airport. However, they can still choose to enter the airport if the player desires to do so. Multiplayer Test Drive Unlimited 2 has a similar online mode to the previous game, free roam driving. During free roaming, up to 8 players can join a session at the same time. The ability to walk is also present in the new racing lobby, homes and shops. When waiting for every player to be ready to race, cars of the other players can be examined. Also, players can be in the seat of another player's car to show or be shown different shortcuts. If a player triggers a police chase, other players can also join in the chase, either as fellow racers trying to outrun the police, or as police officers trying to arrest the racers. The game's online servers went offline in November 2018, disabling online multiplayer and the TDU2 Casino Online expansion. However, in 2021, modders restored the Windows version's online functionality via a mod titled TDU World, which also includes additional content of its own.